Welcome to the last day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Hope you had a rejoicing time for the times of the Passover, new beginnings, new year. Khan? Yeah, read that.
This is the book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 17. And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all in the name of Mashiach Yahushai, giving thanks to Yahweh and the Father by him.
Khan. So all that we said and do is going to be in the name of the Lord Savior, Mashiach Yahushai. We give thanks to the Most High, Bashama Mashiach Yahushai. That's why he told us in Ephesians 5 and 20, why it says, give thanks to the Most High and the Father by him, Ephesians 5 and 20.
Okay. This is the book of Ephesians. That's what it's doing. Ephesians
5 and 20.
5 and verse 20. Giving thanks always for all things unto Yahweh and unto the power and the Yahweh in the name of our Hamashiach Yahushai.
Right. So that's what he already said. We got to give thanks to the Most High and the Father. Like I said, give thanks to the Most High and the Father. How? Bashama Mashiach Yahushai, in the name of the Lord and Savior. Because Mashiach said, no man come to the Father but by him. And there's no New Testament. So this is not nothing new. It's just a matter of they put new on there, but they only had the law and the prophets when he walked the earth. That's all they had to go by. And we're going to go into a little bit of what he went through. Because we honored the Passover, and I was dealing with as far as Kamashah was shy our Passover when they put him to death on the Passover. So before the evening came, he had to be in the grave because that was the law. You could leave him on a tree and put that whole 24-hour day period. So what we're looking at here is the next day, the 15th, was when we was delivered out of Egypt. You see, so the 14th at evening is the Passover. The 15th at evening, we were dealing with um, leaving Egypt, you see. So by the time you're looking at the 15th, when everybody come together for the Feast of Unleavened Bread in honoring our deliverance from Egypt, you understand? Like we gotta look at how we gotta be delivered from our captivity right now, you see. So this is what this is about. We were coming together for the big feast without any leaven on the 15th. That's why they had to have him discarded before everybody came together. See, everybody's in their house having the Passover, wherever they at having the Passover. That's when all this went down with the Mashiach Yahushua. You see? So let's go to Matthew 27 and verse, let me see, 62.
Huh. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 27 and verse 62. And it reads, now the next day that followed, the day of the preparation, the chief priests and Pharisees came together unto Pilate, saying, sir, we remember that deceiver said while he was yet alive, after 3 days I will rise again.
So they confronting Pilate concerning, Mashiach Yahushua said that he gonna rise on the third day. What they call him? They call him a liar, a deceiver. You see that? We remember that deceiver said while he was yet alive, after 3 days, I will rise again. Go ahead. Now, this is after, Joseph had got his body and and put it in this tomb, this expensive tomb that he had bought for Mashiach Yahushua. Go ahead.
Verse 64. Command thee therefore that the sepulchre be made sure unto the third day, lest his disciples come by night and steal him away, and say unto the people, he is risen from the dead. So the last error shall be worse than the first.
Yeah. So they like, hey, seal it so they can't get out. So the disciples can't come and move the stone out the way and say he risen from the dead, like he said he was going to rise on the third day. Remember, they actually gave him a sign. He said, the only sign I'm going to give you is a sign of Jonah, who was in the whale's mouth for 3 days. He said, I'm going to be in the well, in the earth 3 days, and I'm going to rise again. That's why they know he had said it. Read.
65. Pilate said unto them, ye have a watch. Go your way. Make it as sure as ye can.
He said, hey, you go and watch it. And you go make it sure as you can. Read.
So they went and made the sepulchre sure, sealing the stone and setting a watch.
So they sealed it, and they set men out there to watch over that stone. That was, it's a huge stone that was there, that the average person couldn't even move. And they had men watching, right? Go to get Mark 15 and 42. Get Luke 23. Luke 23 and 50.
Mark 15:42. And now when the even was come, because it was the preparation, that is the day before the Sabbath, Joseph of Arimathea, an honorable counselor, which also waited for the kingdom of the Most High, came and went in boldly unto Pilate and craved the body of Hamashiach Yahushai.
Right. Like I said, Joseph, this rich man, went and asked for the body of Hamashiach Yahushua. He was crucified on like the fourth day. So the next day would be the Feast of Unleavened Bread. The next day would be regular Sabbath. And by the time the Sabbath was over, when they came, he was gone. But they say tomorrow is what? Good sixth day. I don't like to say the days of the week because they named after idols, Greek idols. But y'all know what they say as far as good this day, that day, right? The sixth day. And then they said 3 days later he rose. Well, you can count from that day to the 3 days later. That would be the second day of the week, not on their first day of the week that they say Easter is. You see what I'm saying? They can't even count. 2 days. It counts 2 days, man. But go ahead. That was it. Go ahead.
Verse 44. And Pilate marveled if he were already dead, and calling unto him the centurion, he asked him whether he had been any while dead.
Yeah. So when he came, he was already dead. Go ahead.
And when he knew it of the centurion, he gave the body to Joseph. And he bought fine linen and took him down and wrapped him in the linen and laid him in the sepulchre, which was hewn out of a rock, and rolled a stone unto the door of the sepulchre. And Mary Magdalene and Mary, the mother of Joseph, beheld where he was laid.
Right. So they seen where he was laid, right? Now, read where you at.
You said
Luke 23 and 50.
Verse 50. This is the book of Luke, chapter 23, verse 50. And behold, there was a man named Joseph, a counselor, and he was a good man and a just. The same had not consented to the counsel and the deed of them. He was of Arimathea, a city of the Jews, who also himself waited for the kingdom of Yahweh. This man went unto Pilate and begged the body of Hamashiach, and he took it down and wrapped it in linen and laid it in a sepulchre that was hewn in stone, wherein never man before was laid. And that day was the preparation, and the Sabbath drew on.
Right, because you're looking at the Feast of Unleavened Bread, then your Sabbath grew on for the next day, which would be the regular Sabbath night, right?
And the woman also, which came with him from Galilee, followed after and beheld the sepulchre, and now his body was laid. And they returned and prepared spices and ointments and rested the Sabbath day according to the commandment.
Right. So that's Exodus 20 and 10 and 11.
So it's saying that he passed on the Sabbath day.
No, the Passover is the Sabbath.
Right.
Feast of Unleavened Bread is the Sabbath. Then you got a regular Sabbath. You know, so you got 3 days, 3 Sabbaths, really.
3 Sabbaths.
Yeah. Read that.
Exodus 20 and 10. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Most High thy power. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Most High made heaven and earth, the sea,
John
and
19,
all them, and
John
all
19,
that in
13,
them is,
14.
and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Most High blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it.
That's right, man. So the Sabbath day is the day of rest. That's why they were, preparing everything for the regular Sabbath day. We had the Passover, then you had a Feast of Unleavened Bread, then you had a regular Sabbath. So they're gonna rest on that regular Sabbath. Get St. John 19, read verse 13 and 14. Let them get there. Are y'all going to the scriptures? Okay, St. John 19, 13 and 14.
Everybody have it, say con. When Pilate therefore heard that saying, he brought Yahushua forth and sat down in the judgment seat in a place.
14?
So like y'all started at 13?
Yeah.
Consalakia. When Pilate therefore heard that saying, he brought Yahushua forth and sat down in the judgment seat in a place that is called the pavement.
Right. Jump up to verse start at verse 9 now.
Verse 9. The book of John, chapter 19, verse 9. And went again into the judgment hall and said unto Yahushua, whence art thou? But Yahushua gave him no answer.
Amashah sat and say nothing to him. Read.
Then saith Pilate unto him, speaketh thou not unto me? Knowest thou not that I have the power to crucify thee and have the power to release thee?
So Pilate's, getting arrogant, man. He getting with his pride. He say, hey, man, don't you know I got the power to crucify you or I have the power to release you? Go ahead. Listen to what Amashah told him.
Yahushua answered, thou couldst have no power at all against me, except it were given thee from above. Therefore, he that delivered me unto thee hath the greater sin.
See that? So he said, hey, these Israelites, these wicked Israelites that gave you me, say they had a greater sin. But get Daniel 4:17. That's what he's telling them. He said, you don't have no power at all against me, except they were given thee from above. That's talk about the Most High had the power to set him up. Read that.
Daniel 4:17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men.
And that's what we left last to set up over us, the basis of men. That's why you tell them, hey, you don't have no power unless it be from the Most High, which is above. So therefore, he that delivered me, that's what Mashiach was saying, to Pilate, have the greater sin. Go ahead. Verse 12.
John chapter 19, verse 12. And from thenceforth Pilate sought to release him. But the Jews cried out, saying, if thou let this man go, thou art not Caesar's friend. Whosoever maketh himself a king speaketh against Caesar.
Hear that? What is this? This straight what? They straight what?
Blasphemy.
They straight what? We call them what? The ones went to Massa and told on us or said whatever.
Coon.
Coon, the Sambo, right? Straight Sambo. Say if you if you don't crucify him, you don't deal with him like we want you to deal with him, then you ain't no friend of who? Caesar. You ain't no friend of the government, man. And we're gonna tell on you. We'll tell Caesar on you. Dang. Go ahead.
Verse 13. When Pilate therefore heard that saying, he brought Yahushua forth and sat down in the judgment seat in a place that is called the pavement, but in the Hebrew, Gabbatha. And it was the preparation of the Passover, and about the 6th hour, and he said unto the Jews, Behold, your king. And they cried out, Away with him, away with him,
Wow.
crucify him. Pilate said unto them, Shall I crucify your king? The chief priests answered, We have no king but Caesar.
Oh man. That's why he said get Revelation 1:7. That's why I understand this. It's very important, man, that we see what it is in the scriptures that has happened and is gonna happen in the future, happened in the past. What he's saying, read that.
Revelations 1:7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him.
Hear that? They also which pierced him. The Coons, the Sambos, and the Romans. Read. What it say? Read it again.
Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so.
Right.
Amen.
Read verse 16.
Did deliver he him, therefore unto them to be crucified. And they took Yahushua and led him away. And he, bearing his cross, went forth into a place called the place of the skull.
Now, you would think that, like they show in movies and all that, he carrying the cross. He bearing his affliction. That cross is affliction. You know what I mean? Because get Acts 5:30. That represent him bearing his affliction that they have put him under. You know, went forth into a place called the place of a skull, which is called in the Hebrew tongue Golgotha. But read that.
Acts 5:30. The Most High power of our fathers raised up Hamashiach Yahushai, whom ye slew and hanged on a tree.
Hanged on what?
Hanged on a tree.
Hanged on the cross.
Hanged on a tree.
Hanged on a tree. See, he was hung on a tree. So that cross, when people wear that cross, it's like death. It's like you wearing a death around your neck because that's what they say he was crucified on, but he was crucified on a tree. They put him on a tree. There's a movie called The Fall of the Roman Empire. In the beginning of that movie, they show us all on trees, all around. Like you see those trees that's lined up on the street. They call it, at least from where I'm from, they call it the Devil Strip. And they have bodies all on the street. You heard all roads lead to Rome. When you walk down the street, you see all these bodies. What you gonna have? That's fear tactics. You're gonna be afraid. You do something, just like Master Shai said, through the power of the Most High. In the last verse of Isaiah, read that. The last verse of Isaiah 66, the last verse that he's saying, when we have the new moons and the kingdom, the Sabbaths and the holy days in the kingdom. This is the last thing Isaiah left us with. And we had a great time. Now, here it is. We got to see this. Read that.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 66, verse 24. And they shall go forth and look upon the carcass of the men that have transgressed against me, for their worm shall not die, neither shall their fire be quenched, and they shall be an abhorring unto all flesh.
Hear that? So we're going to hate this. We hate to see this, but hey, he said we're going to see this. As we had a great time. You know what that is? That's like, hey, you could be right there too. You mess up. You be right there, right where you see the carcasses of those that have transgressed against the Most High. You'll be right there with them. Straight up. Don't you see that scary tactics? Just think about it. You do something, yes, you know you dead. Bam, you see somebody dying. Hey, you know, death get our attention. So, hey, that's what you're looking at here. Get St. John, the first chapter, verse 11 and verse 12. And then John 19 and 15. St. John 1, 11. Well, you can start at 10.
This is John chapter 1, starting at verse 10. He was in the world, and the world was made by him, and the world knew him not.
You know, he was in the world. What world do you think he's talking about? The world, beginning of the world. He's in the world, and the world was made by him. The world was made by Mashiach Yahushai, but the world knew him not. Like it is now. People don't know him in the Bible book. He said he come in the bottom of the book. It's written to him. They don't really know him. From Genesis, the first chapter, to all the way to Revelations, the last, verses of chapter 22. He's all in there. He's all there. That's why David said in Psalms 110 and 1, the Most High said unto my power, sit thee on my right hand until I make thine enemy thy footstool. You see, he's always been there, but he was the top angel of the Most High. Not in the flesh, he wasn't in the flesh in the Old Testament, but that was him. He said, I have said, ye are gods. He said, and if he said, through the Most High said, ye are gods, then who gonna challenge that? You see what I'm saying? But if you don't really look at him as in the volume of book, that's why I say, hey, depart from you that work iniquity, I never knew you. You gotta know him, you gotta look for him, seek him in the volume of the book. He said, I'm in the volume of the book, it's written of him. So if you don't see him in the Old Testament, then how do you really know him? You see, you can't just know him like Christianity, Christian insanity, I might say, people do, and they say they only know him when he came in the flesh. That's why they say virgin birth, this, that, the third, dealing with what? Nimrod, Semiramis, and Tammuz. That threesome that always was from the beginning. Now they dealing with it, the Most High, Mashiach every time, and the Holy Ghost, the Holy Spirit of that nature. See what I'm saying? But we always dealt with who? Look at everybody dealing with an angel. Angels always were sent to the Most High, from the Most High to us. Period. You see what I'm saying? That is what? A Holy Spirit, a holy angel, right? It don't take rocket science to figure this out. It's just a matter of that's what we see that's happening in the scriptures. And some are angels. I mean, get Hebrews 13 and 2. Some are angels unawares. They don't even know. You even know that you're dealing with angels. People don't even know. Read that.
Hebrews 13 and 2. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares.
Yeah, so Hebrews 13 and 2. So some have entertained angels unaware. They don't even realize who someone is. They just looking at everybody's a regular person. Everybody's not a regular person. I've seen spirits, man, they just appear and they just be gone. We're witnesses. Bam, here they are. The next where they go? You don't see them. I don't know if y'all experienced something like that. I've experienced this many a times, That's why you got to be in the spirit to be able to see the spirit and understand the spirit. You can't just say you're spiritual and you don't understand. You ain't witness no spiritual things. You got to take. Y'all have some. Then I have all the spiritual awareness of those that have received spiritual things that have shared with me, along with what I received to know is real. That's why I have this on YouTube. I got confessions. And everybody come on there and there was confession about all the things that they experienced. That's phenomenal. Period. You know what I mean? Like. And certain things happen that I know in my life where we said the same thing and it happened at the same place, the same time. Damn, they're here. Got get some money to let you know they over there. Ain't that what happened with Philip in the eunuch? He transported, right? These things are real, unless y'all don't believe the Bible. It's real, man. And so when you see these things happening, it's gonna escalate in these last days. You gotta be ready for all this, man. You can't just be caught off guard and like these spirits, man. These spirits are prominent in this earth, especially the ones that's coming on the left hand side, because Satan know we got a short time coming down a must wrath, man. We got to really be ready for that. Read that again.
Slakia, what
Verse 10.
verse 10. He was in the world, and the world was made by him, and the world knew him not.
See, he was in the world, and the world was made by him, and the world knew him not, because everything was made by Mashiach Yahushua through the power of the Most High. Read.
Verse 11. He came unto his own, and his own received him not.
See, he came into his own are the children of Israel. And the children of Israel, majority of the children of Israel didn't receive him. They didn't like him. They didn't like him at all. So when he said, gonna be hated for my name, so when people got a problem with you because you rolling by someone, Mashiach Yahushua, hey, you said it's gonna happen. You expect it. Go ahead. But they read that scripture and they caught up on that, but they don't read the next scripture. What it say?
But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of God, even to them that believe on his name.
So, but as many as received him, let you know, some of us received him, like we receive him now, kind?
Con,
Yeah. To them gave he power, that's spiritual power, to become the sons of the Most High. How? That believe Basham Mashiach Yahweh Shai in the name of the anointed Savior. Because that's how we reach the Most High. That's the spiritual power that we get from the Most High. Without that, we're not going to the Most High. Con? You understand that? Okay. Get John 19 and 15. And John 11:47.
John 19:15. But they cried out, away with him, crucify him. Pilate said unto them, shall I crucify your king?
See? What do you say? Crucify him, crucify him. He said all they that they that, he gonna get those that did this, that said this. And we just read that in Revelation 1 and 7. Go ahead.
The chief priests answered, we have no king but Caesar.
See that? Bunch of sellouts, man. Straight up. We have no king but Caesar. Just the deal. John 11:47. Just the mindset.
Con, this is the book of John, chapter 11, verse 47. Then gathered the chief priests and the Pharisees a council and said, what do we? For this man doth many miracles.
And so what we gonna do, man? This man doing many miracles. Talk about a Mashiach Yahushua. He did many miracles. Get John 21 and 25. John 20, 21, 25.
John 21:25. And there are also many other things which Hamashiach Yahushai did, the which, if they should be written every one, I suppose that even the world itself could not contain the books that should be written.
Hear that? He did so many miracles, man. All the books in the world couldn't contain the miracles that he done. That's powerful. Now read on. Read John 11:47 and 48 again.
Con, John chapter 11, verse 47. Then gathered the chief priests and the Pharisees a council and said, what do we? For this man doth many miracles. Verse 48. If we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him, and the Romans shall come and take away both our place and nation.
You know, he said, we let Mashiach alone by him doing all these miracles, man. He said, all men gonna believe on him. You see? And that's the whole thing you're looking at. Okay, how many men really that's coming back here now that wants to actually have all the men to believe on them, instead of a Mashiach Yahushua. He said, if we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him, on a Mashiach Yahushua. And the Romans, see that? The so-called Italian Caucasian superpower of earth shall come and take away both our place and nation. You see? They're concerned about their position in damnation of the Roman Empire. Because they hooked in with the system. You see? They're gonna come and the Romans shall come and take away both our place and nation. So they're a bunch of sellouts, straight up. Con? I mean, no doubt about it. John 11:47. No, you already did it. You already did that. Matthew 11:12. Let me show you something about, like people say, Mashiach Yahushua was a certain way. So you know how he's talking about our enemy. Read this. We're going to deal with that. Mark 11 and 12.
Mark or Matthew?
Matthew 11 and 12. Sloppy.
Con, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 11, verse 12. And from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence.
So he said from the days of John the Baptist until now, he said, the kingdom of heaven, the children of Israel, we the kingdom of heaven, suffereth what?
Violence.
Violence, man. And what did he say?
And the violent take it by force.
And the violent, that's a violent people take it by force, man. right? So Luke 21 and 20. Who the violent? Luke 21 and 20 to 24.
Luke 21 and 20. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh.
Luke 19:43. Say it again.
And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is
So
nigh.
he prophesied. He said, when you see Jerusalem compassed with armies, know that the time of desolation is near. You know, when you see what armies would it be? It'll be the Roman armies. Con?
Con.
Yeah, so it'll be the Roman armies. He said, know that the time of desolation is near. Go ahead.
Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto.
So he said, hey, if you in Jerusalem, don't come back in here. And if you outside, don't try and, just keep on moving. Keep moving. Don't come back to Jerusalem at this time, because between 65 and 70 AD, we were at war with the Romans. They was trying to take us down. We fell in 70 AD. That's what he's talking about. Go ahead.
For these be the days of vengeance.
The days of what?
For these be the days of vengeance.
These be the days of vengeance, read.
That all things which are written may be fulfilled.
All things are written may be fulfilled, man. So it's written already, prophesied what's going to happen to the time that they're living in. Like it's prophesied what could happen during the time that we living in, for the prophecies that we're looking forward to that's going to happen, that we can look at the end times that we're in now. You understand? Go ahead.
But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. For there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people.
Hear that? Then we're going to be going through a lot of changes. Women that have little babies, they got to give suck. He's saying, woe to destruction unto them, man. In those days, there shall be great distress in the land. So we talk about who is bringing this distress on us. Huh? The Romans. Who are who?
Esau.
Yeah, Esau, Edomites, right? Con. He talking about them. Read.
Verse 24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles, until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
That Jerusalem going to be cast down, man. He brought us down, man, until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. They over there in our land right now, but we're going to fall by the edge of the sword and be led away captive into all nations. He's telling us this. We like, hey, sure. Like we telling people the prophecies of what's going to happen in the future now. You get yourself ready. You got to be ready. You don't have, it's too late to get ready. Biden said it's going to be famine. You don't believe it? I mean, tariffs coming on the earth right now. I mean, everything will get high, sky high, sky high, sky high. And you ain't prepared for what it is that's happening. He's telling you what's going to happen. You got to be ready, man. You can't wait to get ready. Most High gonna bring. Okay, if that's the case, don't go to work no more. Don't go to the store no more. Don't buy nothing from the store. Just say this: food come to me. Drinks come to me. No, it's not gonna happen like that, man. Well, we gotta be ready. Like they said on the Mount Sata. I went there. I went up to Mount Sata. The last chance that we had, man. They said that they had food that could last 100 years. That's the technology that we had. And knowing how to preserve food for that long, man. It's powerful. So we were led away captive to all nations, man, when they brought us down. Look at Luke 19 and 43.
Con, it's the book of Luke, chapter 19, verse 43. For the days shall come upon thee that thine enemies shall cast a trench about thee.
Now, hold up. So what did he call them so far? Y'all locked in? What did he call them so far?
Thine enemies.
Okay, that's what he said here. But what he said so far, he called them what? First, what? The violent.
Con, the violent.
Violent. Then he called them what? The enemies, right?
Con,
The enemies. He's saying right here. And who is it talking about? The Romans, the Edomites,
Con.
Read it again.
Romans, some people get that confused. It was called Romans as well because we lived in Rome. Israelites was called Romans as well. We talk about the Israelite Edomites.
You talking about Edomites?
Yeah, Edomites. Of course I know, but some people get confused about that. We was also called Romans as well because we lived in Rome.
Right. That's Romans 1:7. Read that.
Huh.
We're just talking about the Edomites here.
Romans 1:7. To all that be in Rome, beloved of the Most High, called to be saints.
Right. So all that live in Rome called to be saints, man. And we know the saints are who? The 12 tribes of Israel. Who's beloved? The Israelites. Get that in Baruch 3:20-36. So the book of Romans talking to Israel first and foremost. Just like right now, it's mainly talking to us, but it has the other nations. Like right now, we're talking to the Romans. You're talking about the Romans within the scripture that we're breaking out right here. When he called them the violent, and now he's calling them the enemies. Read that.
Baruch 3:36. He hath found out all the way of knowledge, and have given it unto Jacob his servant, and to Israel his beloved.
See, Israel is beloved. So in Rome, and we read Romans 1:7 to the beloved. So Israel, we the beloved of the Most High. God, give me Matthew 13:24. People be like, oh, my child was shy, he never did this, he never did. See what he did do. Matthew 13:24.
Matthew chapter 13, verse 24. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way.
Right. So it's still on with a farmer sowing seed, but he sowed good seed in the field. And while men slept, his enemies, so we call him enemy again, came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. Go ahead.
Verse 26. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also.
So the tares look just like the wheat. The tares look just like wheat. You can't hardly tell the difference between them, right? Go ahead.
So the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then have it tares?
So why got these tares? Why got these weeds that look just like the wheat? Go ahead.
He said unto them, an enemy has done this.
So what do you call them again?
An enemy has done this.
What do you call them again?
An enemy has done this.
This is my Yahushua Shai said this. What are you calling them?
An enemy has done this.
An enemy has done this. Read.
The servant said unto him, wilt thou then that we go and gather them up?
So now it's like, remember, he asked his servant, said, hey, you want us to go and gather these tares up? Because a lot of people have the understanding of what a tare is, but he said, you want us to go and gather these tares up? Go ahead.
But he said, nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them.
Right. So he's letting you know, since the tares look just like the wheat, he said, we can't go out there and determine who is who, because when you're trying to say that they're not Israel, and it might be Israel, now you grabbing one of the Israelites and include them in with the tares, and they're not a tare. They're really an Israelite. Read.
But he said, nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root also up the wheat with them.
Right.
Let both grow together until the harvest. And in the time of harvest, I will say to the reapers, gather ye together first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them, and gather the wheat into my barn.
So it's a parable. A parable is a riddle, right? So if you want everybody to get this, why isn't it that he's just speaking plainly so you understand what he's saying? Jump up to verse 37.
Come on, verse 30.
So listen, he did a lot of parables. He brought forth a lot of parables to the apostles, right? But they asked him about these tares. Of all the things that he brought forth, they asked him about these tares. Read.
Come on, verse 37.
Wait, read verse 36.
Slakia, verse 36. Then Yahushua went Slakia sent the multitude away and went into the house, and his disciples came unto him, saying, Declare unto us the parable of the tares of the field.
You hear that? All the parables, you can look at all the parables he gave them, but when they came to him, they said, hey man, we don't know about these tares of the field, right? Go ahead.
He answered and said unto them, He that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man.
He that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man, us, the Israelites, go ahead.
The field is the world.
Field is the world, go ahead.
The good seed are the children of the kingdom.
See, the good seed are the children of the kingdom. Go ahead.
But the tares are the children of the wicked one.
The tares are who?
The children of the wicked one.
The children of the wicked one. Go ahead.
The enemy that sold them is the devil.
So he calling them what?
The devil.
What he's calling them?
The devil.
Y'all sure? What he calling them?
The devil.
He calling them the devil, man. The wicked one, and he's calling them the devil. The enemy, he called him the wicked one, he called him the enemy, and he called him what? The devil.
Huh?
That's what my Mashiach was shy calling them what? The devil. And that's what they did with our women. We can go what they do. They went in, they raped our women. That's why I said, remember, said, woe to the women with child during that time. Could be very bad. They raped our women and brought forth their children. I mean, their kids, because they know we the children, they have kids. I mean, that's why you see that baby goat. What's it called? The kids. That's why they have everybody talking about my kids. But we should be saying children or my child instead of kid, which is a baby goat. You see? We said they got us programmed to say the things that they are saying concerning theirs. We're just children of Israel. We're not no kids of Israel. Where you see that at? And we have children which will be our child. You see? But go ahead. Read that again, verse 39.
The enemy that sold them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels.
See that? He said the enemy that sold them are the devil. The harvest is the end of the world. And we know 2 Ezra 6 and 9 says, for Esau is the end of the world. And Jacob is it that begin, the beginning of it that follow it. So he's letting you know they're the wicked one, they're the enemy. Get Job 9:24. They're the wicked one, they're the enemy, they're the devil. He said the harvest is the end of the world. When you're gonna have the angels to come and do what? Verse 40.
As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so shall it be in the end of the world.
So shall it be at the end of the world. You got the angels do this. Read.
The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend and them which do iniquity, and shall cast them into the furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth.
That's right, man. So who are the wicked? Job 9:24.
The violent.
Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
That's right. The earth been given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? If it's not Esau. I mean, he the one painted this picture in the Bibles to be himself, right? I mean, say in the movies, they got a new movie coming out. Every time they have a new movie, this is them. They got this new series called I think David, called the Son of David. I mean, I think it's called something about the King David. You know, Jewish boy running around playing King David, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's always them. They're not dealing with the truth. John 19:15. This is our people.
This is the book of John, chapter 19, verse 15. But they cried out, Away with him! Away with him! Crucify him! Pilate said unto them, Shall I crucify your king? The chief priest answered, We have no king but Caesar. Then delivered he him therefore unto them to be crucified. And they took Yahushua and led him away.
Who did that? Who took him and laid him away? Romans, right. Roman soldiers, man. Get John 18:28.
John 18:28. Then led they Hamashiach Yahushai from Caiaphas unto the hall of judgment, and it was early, and they themselves went not into the judgment hall, lest they should be defiled, but that they might eat the Passover.
See that? So these wicked Israelites, man, they led the Mashiach outside the Caiaphas into the hall of judgment. It was early. Remember, it was the Passover night when they came, got him. So it's early when they actually working to have him crucified to make sure he's crucified before the evening, the next evening, because the evening, when the evening come, everybody coming together for the feast. Like we coming together for the last day of the feast, but everybody came together for the Feast of Unleavened Bread. When you really had a feast, it's just having 11 in it. Passover, everybody's home, so they doing everything. They know everybody's like a Mashiach outside. We had a Passover up in the upper room with the apostles, right? So everybody's in the room, excuse me, in their homes having a Passover. Then the next day, everybody came together on the 15th that evening to be able to honor the Feast of Unleavened Bread. You see, that's the 15th day that we left in that evening. The 14th, the evening of the 15th, which is the 16th. Evening of the 14th is the 15th. Y'all with me?
Huh.
Because it said even though the 14th would be the 15th, even the Esau start at 12 o'clock, it's going to start, that next day. Like right now, it's going to start the next day. What we at, the 17th? Is it 17th today? Yeah. So it'll be the 18th at 12 o'clock. Is right? We just started earlier. We should start earlier. We start our day when the sun go down, when it's dark, So they had to have this done before everybody come together. Like they probably would have tore their butts up. Everybody looking at this, what you doing? Everybody away from, they wasn't with the hall of judgment, but go ahead, read on.
Verse 29. Pilate then went out unto them and said, What accusation bring ye against this man?
So what you accusing him of? What did he do, Ray?
They answered and said unto him, If he were not a malefactor, we would not have delivered him up unto thee. Then said Pilate unto them, Take ye him and judge him according to your law.
So you judge him according to your law. You see the difference in the Edomite at that time and dealing with us as the Israelites? We have laws. You knew our laws were different than their laws. So you judge according to your law, trying to get out of it. Read.
The Jews therefore said unto him, It is not lawful for us to put any man to death.
See that? But it's okay for the so-called white man to do it, right? You see that? Mm-hmm. He said, we give them to you because we know you'll put them to death. Go ahead.
That the saying of Mashiach Yahushai might be fulfilled, which he spake, signifying what death he should die.
Right. It might be fulfilled what it is that he said, what death he should have to encounter. Go ahead.
Then Pilate entered into the judgment hall again and called Hamashiach Yahushai and said unto him, Art thou the king of the Jews?
So we asked him, hey, you the king of the Jews? What did Mashiach say?
Mashiach Yahushai answered him, Sayest thou this thing of thyself, or did others tell it thee of me?
I said, hey, you saying this by yourself, your own account, or did somebody tell you that I was the king of the Jews? Go ahead.
Pilate answered, Am I a Jew? Thy own nation and the chief priests have delivered thee unto me. What hast thou done?
I said, what have I done, man? He said, am I a Jew? He said, hey, your own nation, thine own nation, let you know that they are not part of our nation. You hear that? Thine own nation. He excluded the Edomites from being who? Our nation. Straight up. Delivered, the chief priest, wicked chief priest, delivered the Mashiach Messiah up to Pilate. He said, what you do, man? What did you do? But they don't want to kill you. Go ahead.
Mashiach Yahushai answered, My kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then would my servants fight, that I should not be delivered to the Jews. But now is my kingdom not from hence.
That's right, man. He said, this kingdom is not of this world, man. He said, this kingdom was of this world, then would servants fight. with that spiritual power that the Most High gonna put on His servants, because it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Where you gonna put that spiritual power on His servants, who are the 12 tribes of Israel, to fight. That's when you read what's that, Ezekiel 37:10. You raising up a mighty army, man, and read Ezekiel 25:14. It's gonna happen eventually. It's just a matter of when this power that His servants gonna receive to do the things of the wicked that are not of that remnant, that's going to have to deal with what it is that's written in the prophecies. Happened to us, Kai. I mean, the judgment happened to us. All the curses happened to us. Mosai jacked us up. So we going to get some payback too. What's that? Read.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 25, and verse 14. I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury, and they shall go and Slaki, and they shall know my vengeance, saith Yahweh thy power.
That's right. So that's future prophecy. It's going to happen. He told us what He going to do to us. He said, I'm going to give you to the worst of the heathen. He did. How has us to do this? That's why when we prophesy to our brothers and sisters of the future to be ready for what it is going to go down, you got to be ready, man. You ain't the time to get ready. I'm trying to just know you got to be ready, straight up, because you know what's going to happen. So you get yourself prepared for what's going to happen. You know, you stack up whatever you need to stack up, whatever you need to be able to deal with during the time that's coming at hand, or you're gonna be caught out there like everybody else. Read on. Where you at?
Verse 37. This is John 18 and 37. Pilate therefore said unto him, Art thou a king then? Hamashiach Yahushai answered, Thou sayest that I am a king. To this end was I born, and for this cause came I into the world, that I should bear witness unto the truth. Every one that is of the truth heareth my voice.
Yeah, we know the truth is Psalm 119, 142. That righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. So He came forth to bear witness of the laws and the commandments of the Most High, which most people don't even believe in. They don't think that we're under the laws of the Most High. He came forth to bear witness of the truth. And those that are of the truth hear His voice. Everybody don't hear His voice, because everybody's not really trying to look at what it is to keep the commandments of Him. First and foremost, fear the Most High. Be afraid to be scared of Him, to respect Him, to keep His commandments, to do what He say do, His rules and regulations. You can't be walking around with not loving the Most High and not loving your brother and sister, or you're not keeping the commandments. That's what commandments are based upon, them two principles: how we love the Most High with all our heart, mind, and soul and strength, and how we love thy neighbor as thyself. All the laws, 613 laws, based upon those principles, those two principles. Even though, look in the New Testament, they go there, say, that's all you need to do. No, you still got to follow what that it tells. How you love the Most High and keep His commandments, you ain't doing what He say do. Moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, and ceremonial laws that we can still follow. You see? Read on.
Verse 38.
Let me say this before you go. He said, I am, in John 14:6, He said, I'm the way, the what? The truth
and
the light. I'm the way to show you how to follow what He just said, bear witness of the truth. I'm the way to show you how to follow the commandments of the Most High, because did He sin? No. So He's a way to show us how to follow the commandments of the Most High, the laws of the Most High, that's going to lead to everlasting life. Then He says, no man cometh to the Father but by Him. So that's why we rolling by Shama Mashiach Yahushai. You ask anything in my name, I would do it. You ask anything by Shama Mashiach Yahushai, I would do it. Why? That the Father could be glorified in the Son. He said, you ask anything in my name, I would do it. If you love me, keep my commandments. What's that? Do what I say do. My rules and regulations. That's whose rules and regulations? They're the Most High's. You follow the Most High, you follow Him, you're going to follow the Most High, because He is the one that came to show us how to follow the Most High. Like He said, you can bear witness of the truth. Who wrote the truth? Who gave us the truth? The Most High. So we ain't going to never deviate from Him. There's always the Most High, Mashiach Yahushua, and man and woman and children. But go ahead.
Verse 38. Pilate saith unto him, what is truth?
What is truth? See? Here go the white man saying what? What'd he say?
What is truth?
What is truth? What is truth? Go ahead.
And when he had said this, he went out again unto the Jews and saith unto them, I find in him no fault at
So
all.
he went out to the Jews and said, well, I find no fault in him. Go ahead.
But ye have a custom that I should release unto you one at the Passover. Will ye therefore that I release unto you the King of the Jews?
You see that? Now he know all the time what they said. What did they tell him? When they holler crucify him, they're saying crucify him. So now you're going to say, hey, you know I have a custom that I release one of your prisoners to you every year. I have a custom that he released the prisoner to the Israelites. Say, you want me to release a Mashiach Yahushua, King of the Jews? No, he know that they already done condemned him. He said, I'll fight no fault with him. Read.
Then cried they all again, saying, not this man, but Barabbas.
Barabbas.
Now Barabbas was a robber.
Barabbas was a robber, right? So now, here, what did he say? I find no fault in that, all right? So how Esau is. Verse 1, 19 and 1.
John 19 and 1. Then Pilate therefore took Hamashiach Yahushai and scourged him.
Who did it?
Then Pilate therefore took Hamashiach Yahushai and scourged him.
Scourged him. What did he do? He whipped him, man. With that Roman scourge, it's like it's what they call a cat with 9 tails.
Yeah.
Got all kind of bones and razors on the ear. When every time you hit it into the skin, you pull it out. It's flesh.
Fresh.
Y'all seen that on Passion? Y'all everybody see Passion?
Fresh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good movie, man. As far as didn't just eliminate the fact it was an Edomite, but it was showing that it was from a beat down from the beginning to the end, man. Straight up. The things that he showed that happened to him that he could really put forth. He said he would have told the truth, they would have killed him. Mel Gibson said. But it is what it is. But you see what he said? Then Pilate therefore took Hamashiach and scourged him. Read.
And the soldiers plaited a crown of thorns and put it on his head, and they put on him a purple robe.
Yeah, man. His robe, the robe he had on, man, it said it was so marvelous, man. It had no seams in it. It was woven from the top to the bottom. How is that? I'm trying to figure that one out. No seams at all. You know what I mean? Like woven from the top to the bottom, man. That's why they bid it for it. Well, you wasn't rolling like, looking shabby, man. Like they show them in burlap and all that stuff, man. Anytime they ain't gonna bid for no burlap roll. You know what I mean? God, yeah, man. So when you read verse 19, chapter 19, they show you how they put him in the suffering modes, man. Matthew 26 and 25. Matthew 26, 25. He went through a lot. I'll tell you that.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 26 and verse 25.
Well, verse 2.
Oh, Salakia.
2, 5.
Verse 2?
Yes.
Salakia, this is Matthew chapter 26, verse 2. Ye know that after 2 days is the feast of the Passover, and the Son of Man is betrayed to be crucified.
So you see, on the feast of the Passover, they in upper room, they left the upper room, and this is when he was crucified. On the feast of the Passover. Go ahead.
Then assembled together the chief priests and the scribes and the elders of the people unto the place of the high priest, who was called Caiaphas, and
Caiaphas.
Salakia, and consulted that they might take Yahushua by subtlety and kill him. But they said, not on the feast day, lest there be an uproar among the people.
See that? Not on the feast day, lest there be an uproar among the people. Y'all see this? What feast day you think they talking about? No.
No, is that 11 bread?
Feast of Unleavened Bread, which is when?
15.
Right, the next day. Y'all see it? Not on the feast day, unless the people they're gonna be uproar. They're gonna know, hey, everybody gonna come out and be against them. They couldn't do it then. Remember, you had the Passover in the upper room. And with Judas there, and he left to get him, and he said, go ahead, when he did the sop, he said, well, I'll put the bread in the sop, and I'll give it to you, gave it to Judas, that's the one gonna betray me. And he went and got the 600 men, y'all. And when he came back with the 600 men, he said, whom do you seek? And they said, Mashiach Yahushua of Nazareth. And he said 3 words. He said, I am he. And all of them fell to the ground. Remember, he told the Romans, well, I could call 12 legions of angels, kill all of y'all. But that wasn't his mission. He had to come back, and do what he had to do to die for wretched us, But when he come back, he coming to judge and make war.
Yeah.
And that's why right now we have the opportunity to get it right, straight up, with the Most High, so that whenever he come back, we can have an opportunity to be in that kingdom forever and ever and ever and ever. Ain't nobody gonna take us down from that point on, right? Yeah, that's what we just said, man.
Most High said, anything that the Israelites go through, I went through as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like anything, all the stuff we go through, shootings, getting done, being tormented, all the stuff. He's saying, I'm going through everything that you're going through. That's why I'm letting you know that we like you said, we as Mashiach.
Yeah.
Because we go through the same thing our brothers.
Right, man. I mean, it's a lot. We got to endure. We just got to really have our spirits right to be able to endure to the end. You got to endure to the end, but you got a right spirit. You can't be dealing with, the wrong spirit in these last days, because the Most High is taking people out. For real. They're going to wake up at the judgment. Wake up, you in the judgment. Mark 14:1.
Mark 14:1. After 2 days was the feast of the Passover and of unleavened bread. And the chief priests and the scribes sought how they might take him by craft and put him to death.
Right. Read that again.
Mark 14:1. After 2 days was the feast of the Passover and of unleavened bread.
And of unleavened bread. Go ahead.
And the chief priests and the scribes sought how they might take him by craft and put him to death. But they said, not on the feast day, lest there be an uproar of the people.
Right. So the feast day is the feast of unleavened bread. The next day we can come together and have a feast. Like we have a feast, like we have a regular feast, except for no leaven. Everybody understand that? No leaven within, but you can bring everything that, that's what we did, this year. We bought all kind of food, but no leaven. We couldn't eat any leaven. Get John 13:1. St. John 13:1.
This is the book of John, chapter 13, and verse 1. Now, before the feast of the Passover, when Yahushua knew that his hour was come, that he should depart out of this world unto the Father, having loved his own which were in the world, he loved them unto the end.
Yeah. So Mashiach Yahushua was the feast of the Passover. When the Mashiach knew that his hour was come. When? In the feast of the Passover. Not the feast of the next day of the unleavened bread. You see? Verse 2.
And supper being ended, the devil, having now put into the heart of Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, to betray him, Yahushua, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hands, and that he was come of the Most High, and went to the Most High, he riseth from supper, and laid aside his garments, and took a towel, and girded himself.
He took a towel and girded himself, read.
After that, he poured water into a basin, and began to wash the disciples' feet and to wipe them with the towel wherewith he was girded.
So you took that towel, you have a big towel. You could take a towel that you girded with and wipe it in the water. You got a real big towel that you have girded about yourself. Like people talking about, he took the towel off, he wasn't butt naked. You know what I mean? You can take that towel and put the end of the towel in the water and wipe the feet. You understand what I'm saying?
Con.
Yeah, go ahead.
Then cometh he to Simon Peter, and Peter said unto him, Yahushua, dost thou wash my feet? Yahushua answered unto him, What I do thou knowest not now, but thou shalt know hereafter.
So what I'm doing, you don't know what's happening right now, but you're going to know hereafter. Go ahead.
Peter said unto them, Thou shalt never wash my feet. Yahushua answered him, If I wash thee not, thou hast no part with me.
He said, if I don't wash you, man, you have no part with me. If I don't wash your feet, you have no part with me. You ain't dealing with me. You ain't going to be involved in what it is that I'm bringing forth. Go ahead.
Simon Peter said unto him,
Simon Peter what would you call him? He was like always like doing something, man. Even when they came to get him out Shai, we cut the dude's ear off. When he saw it, right? Chow, cut the dude's ear off. About always had to put his ear back on. He was always like, what would you call him?
Peter was a zealot. He was filled with zeal.
Yeah, he was like, you can't you can't wash my feet, man. You gotta wash my whole what did he say? Wash my whole body. Go ahead. Verse 9.
Verse 9, Simon Peter said unto him, Yahweh, not my feet only, but also my hands and my head.
Yeah, wash my hands and my head. Go ahead. Always adding something.
Yahweh said unto him, He that is washed needeth not save to wash his feet, but is clean every whit. And ye are clean, but not all.
He said, I'm doing this here because I'm showing you that some of y'all are going to be clean, but some of you not going to be clean. Some of you is a devil. Go ahead.
Simon Peter said unto him,
verse 11.
Verse 11, for he knew who should betray him. Therefore said he, ye are not all clean.
Yeah, that's why I say, you have a lot of people that be among us, man. They ain't clean. Read John 15:3. That's how you clean. John 15:3. Everybody not clean.
John 15:3. Now ye are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you.
That's right, man. Ephesians 5:26. See, now you clean to the word that he's speaking to us. But if you don't have the word, you're not going to be clean. You have to learn it, live it, and apply it in your life. This ain't just reading something, then now I got it. No, it's spiritual. If you don't really look at this as being spiritual, then it's going to be hard to understand the things that's going to go down in this world. But read that. Ephesians 5:26.
What's lacking?
You got it. You need it.
Ephesians 5:26. That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word.
Right, the washing of water by the word, man. So he's giving them the word. He's not just wiping their feet and not really giving them understanding of what it is as he's bringing forth what he came on this earth to do. And that's to bring the word of the Most High. Period. Con? Yeah, he represents the Most High. John 13:1.
The book of John, chapter 13, verse 1. Now before the feast of the Passover, when Yahushua knew that his hour was come, that he should depart out of this world unto the Father, having loved his own which were in the world, he loved them unto the end.
That's right. He loved them unto the end. He loved his own. Matthew 1:21. Who's his own? We were told who his own is. We know Hebrews 7:14, for this evidence of fact that our power, Mashiach Yahushua, sprang out of Judah. So what he say in Matthew 1:21?
With the book of Matthew, chapter 1, verse 21. And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Yahushua, for he shall save his people from their sins.
She say, that's Mary. So you should call his name Yahushua, for he shall save his people from their sins. What did he say out of his own mouth?
Matthew 15:24.
Come.
But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
So he only sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So give me go back to John 13 and start at verse 26.
This is the book of John, chapter 13, verse 26. And Yahushua answered, He it is whom I shall give a sop when I have dipped it.
That's why when you have Passover, you have like bitter melon, and it's a liquid. Where you take the bread and you put the bread in the liquid. It's called bitter melon. You make it like a soup, like you put it in there, and you just put the water with the bitter melon, and he said a sop. That's why you see he's dipping something. It's not no horseradish that's hot. You taste bitter melon. It's bitter. You know what I mean? That's what they had. It's called bitter melon. You chopped it up. It looked like a cucumber. Yeah. You seen it before? Yeah. It says good for you. Yeah, it says real good for you. But he took the sop, he put the bread and put it in the sop, and he said, who it is that I'm getting ready to give it to, he's the one that can betray me. Go ahead.
And when he had dipped the sop, he gave it to Judas Iscariot, the son of Simon. And after the sop, Satan entered into him.
Check it out. You see that? After the sop, Shaitan entered into him. So Satan get into people. The devil get into people. You understand? That's how he operate. That's why when you read Job, the first chapter, when you read from 6 down, it's talking about the sons of the Most High, who are us, having a meeting, and Satan is among us. And Satan, Most High asked asked Satan, did he consider Job, right? And so when the Most High said, Job said, put forth thine hand, when the Most High put forth his left hand, who was Satan and the devil, then what did Satan do? He left from there and he went down, he got into the minds of the Sabians, had him to kill Job's crops and take his livestock and so forth. Then he got into the minds of the Sabians and the Chaldeans and had them do the same thing, destroying all of his wealth and so forth. So that's how he works. He get into the minds of people and have them operate a certain way. If you ain't really spiritual enough to really realize you're dealing with Satan, then hey, you think you rolling with the Most High, but you really rolling with the devil. People are rolling with the devil, you see, and not realizing it, man, because you cannot allow. That's why you got to be. I keep saying you got to be spiritual enough to realize, man, you got to be on that side with the Most High, the Mashiach Yahweh side completely, man. Or Satan is rolling with you. And what you doing? What you gonna do when he come for you? Fear of the Father has a living power. That's Most High. He sent Satan after Job. Why? Y'all know why he sent Satan after Job, right? Most people don't even know. He ain't do it to be no example to Job to show what his power he can do. Job had to do something for the Most High to send Satan on him. And you know what it was?
I just thought that they wanted to test his faith. That's what I thought.
No, you don't test nobody's faith like that. Pride? Yeah, it could be. You close too. Yes.
Just go to that chapter.
The thing about it, everybody know the story of Job, right? He got jacked up. So
he got jacked up and killed his life.
He was jacked up, man. I mean,
family and everything.
Go to
because that's why they said Job was perfect. They said that you can do whatever to him, but you can't touch him.
Don't kill him. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm saying why did the Most High say, have you considered my servant Job? It's a reason why he said that. Because the Most High is not evil. We brought evil into the world. Y'all know that, right? He said, don't eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. In the beginning, everybody obeyed the Most High until then. But read Job 33:9. What Job said.
Salakia, Job 30 or 33?
Job 30, chapter 33, verse 9.
This is the book of Job, chapter 33 and verse 9. I am clean, without transgression. I am innocent, neither is there iniquity in me.
That's what Job said. Then what else he said?
Behold,
Job 34 and 5.
Salakia, chapter 34, verse 5. For Job hath said, I am righteous, and God hath taken away my judgment.
See, you say, what Job say?
I am righteous.
I am righteous. So now, go to 2 Ezra 8:48. Well, you can go to 2 Ezra 7 and 49 first. Because you got to look at least I have looked at what's marvelous in the eyes of the Most High. What pleases the Most High and what doesn't please him. You know, you can walk around here like you want to be in the spirit with the Most High, but the Most High will jack you. Read this.
Second Ezra chapter 8, verse 48.
No, read 7:49.
Oh, Salakia.
And you get 2 Ezra 8:48.
This is second Ezra chapter 7 and verse 49. For what profit is it unto us?
This is Ezra, man. Ezra got 204 books. We only have 80. So we got 124 more books that most people are really interested in really looking for, finding out about. Read this.
For what profit is it unto us if therefore be promised us an immortal time, whereas we have done the works that bring death?
You know? You say, what profit is that we have been promised immortality, but we are dealing with, we, including himself, is dealing with the things that bring death. Go ahead.
Verse 50. And that there is promised us an everlasting hope, whereas ourselves, being most wicked, are made vain.
Hear that? Now, how righteous was Job? How righteous was Ezra in saying what he's saying, and the Most High gave him more books than we have, than anybody have. Because we had lost the Bible, and the Most High gave the Bible back to Ezra, and he's saying, what? Say ourselves, we wicked ourselves, including himself. Did Job say that? No. Job said he was righteous. Job said he's clean, without transgression. I am innocent, you know. Neither is there any iniquity in me. Keep that in mind. That's what he said, right? But what is Ezra saying? Read.
Verse 51. And that there are laid up for us dwellings of health and safety, whereas we have lived wickedly.
Whereas who? We, including himself, have lived how?
Wickedly.
That's him, including himself, said we have lived wickedly. Okay? Including himself, even though he's righteous. Now, him saying this over and over again, like Daniel's 9 and 8, almost high to us belongeth confusion of face. We don't know who we are. I got 122 different identities. Asking brothers, what's your race? To our kings, to our princes, and to our fathers, because we have sinned against thee. We have sinned against you. To the Most High our power belongeth mercies and forgivenesses, though we, including himself, have rebelled against him. Neither have we, including himself, obeyed the voice of the Most High our power to walk in his laws, which he set before us by his servants, the prophets. So all the prophets said this. Now, saying this, what is this? 2 Ezra 8:48.
Second Esdras 8:48. In this also thou art mindful before the Most High.
Salakia. Go ahead.
Second Esdras 8:48. In this also thou art marvelous before the Most High, in that thou hast humbled thyself.
Read it from the top again.
Second Esdras 8:48. In this also thou art marvelous before the Most High, in that thou hast humbled thyself as it becometh thee, and hast not judged thyself worthy to be much glorified among the righteous.
You know that? What does Ezra do?
Has not judged thyself worthy to be much glorified among the righteous.
See that? That's marvelous in the eyes of the Most High. Job didn't do that. This is how serious this is.
Okay, Job didn't do what? I'm lost. What you said Job didn't do? What did
Read
he
it
do?
again. Because remember, I was reading to you how Ezra was saying, we have sinned, even though he's righteous. That's why I said he was given 204 books. We had lost the Bible. He was given 204 books. We only got 80. Majority of people only have 80. So 124 books. Anybody really concerned about mostly of Israel. But he was given 204 books. So he was righteous. Just like Job righteous. He was righteous. Daniel's righteous, right? Don't he have a book written about himself? Is Ezekiel righteous? Nehemiah? They're righteous, but they all said the same thing. We have sinned.
Said we live wickedly, so they humbled themselves. Pretty much Job didn't. Job was
And
saying,
hold up, Bob.
clinging on.
Read it so we can hear what's being said.
Second Esdras 8:48. In this also thou art marvelous before the Most
Now,
High,
this is being marvelous before the Most High. This is what it says. Read it slow.
in that thou hast humbled thyself,
In that thou hast humbled thyself, Ezra humbled himself, and what?
as it becometh thee,
As becometh him, and what?
and hast not judged thyself worthy to be much glorified among the righteous.
See, he didn't say he was righteous. That's why he read, everything he read was, we have sinned. You know, the kingdom, the kingdom promised to us, but we ourselves, including himself, is not worthy to even be included in the kingdom. You understand? That's what's marvelous in the eyes of the Most High. Go ahead. You got it? You see?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Got it. Mm-hmm.
And Job said he righteous. I'm righteous. You know, what he said, I'm innocent. I'm without fault. I'm not, no iniquity is in me. That's what he's saying. Well, the young man has to come and tell him, hey man, look, man, you said you righteous. That ain't right.
So he was proud.
Yeah. Pride, no, just said he righteous. Just that factor. That's what it said. It said that was not accounted thyself to be accounted among the righteous. You see? Go ahead.
Verse 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world,
Why?
because they have walked in great pride.
Somebody said that. You said that. That's it. That's right. They have walked in great pride to think that they all that. I'm righteous. I'm just because we know a few scriptures that make you righteous.
You know,
Come on, man. I done seen brothers that left the truth and baptized in the Baptist church with fringes on. Come on. All kind of madness done happen, man. People right now, man, I'm telling y'all, man, it's like, you know how when the Passover come, it be like what do you call it? Filtering out, man. People be filtered out of the way, man. Talk about that revolving door. That's when people be moved out the way, man, because they're not really ready for what it is that we got to get ready to happen, man. We got to endure to the end, no matter what, man. We got to be there and ready, man. I've seen a lot of things happen to people, man. Bad things, man, that they've been jacked up. They've been really, really jacked up. Their body's been jacked up, man. You know, during this time period, man. That's why you got to have your mind. That's why we do a purging. You got to do. It's a purging period. That's why you got to get all the leaven out of you. You can't walk around with no leaven, no wickedness in you, feeling a certain way, man. How you pray? Say you can't pray. You can't pray, man. Go look at Mark 11, 25, 26. You can't pray to the Most High. You want the Most High to answer your prayer. You sitting around with attitude, dealing with some kind of attitude. I can't do that. I don't care what happened. He said, whatever you give, you take out cheerfully. That's a spiritual thing where you can actually be at peace. He said, I'm going to give you that special peace. How you going to have this if you don't really seek him and what he's saying he's going to do, and you don't believe it? You can't have no faith in him. You don't believe that. What he say? Who got it? Matthew 11 and 25, 26.
Matthew 11 and 25. At that time, Hamashiach Yahushai answered and said,
Mark 11, 20, 25. Salakia. And 26. This is very important, man.
Mark 11 and 25. And when you stand praying, forgive if ye have aught against any.
Against just somebody.
Against any.
No, just a few people.
If you have aught against any.
He said, you got out against any, man. He said, if you got out against anybody, you got to let that go, man. We stand praying, read.
That your Father also, which is in heaven, may forgive you your trespasses.
Right. That the Most High, which is in heaven, may forgive you your trespasses. Things that you done wrong. We all have done some things that's wrong. Even the thoughts could be wrong, you know? In this day and time, read on.
But if you do not forgive neither will your Father which is in heaven forgive your trespasses.
You know, that's why we gotta roll with this, man. So that's what he said at Matthew 6 after the Our Father prayer, man. You praying the Our Father prayer, and then you think you're gonna receive whatever it is you praying for. And right now, man, that's what it said. Gonna be evils in the world because of what? Great what? Pride. Pride, man. It's real. Read that in Matthew 6:14-15.
Matthew 6:14.
This is after the Our Father prayer. What do he say?
For if you forgive men their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you.
So if you forgive men their trespasses, the Most High gonna forgive you. Read.
But if you forgive not men their trespasses, neither will your Father forgive your trespasses.
Right, man. You can't be walking around, you can't pray. You can't pray because it's a waste of time. He's telling you, or the Most High gonna look upon what we done wrong and judge us for what we've done wrong. Get 1 Corinthians 5:7.
This is the book of First Corinthians, chapter 5, and verse 7. Purge out, therefore, the old leaven, that ye may be a new lump.
You gotta purge out that old wickedness, man, that we roll in. That you may be a what?
That ye may be a new lump.
That you may be a new lump, man.
As ye are unleavened.
Unleavened.
Unleavened. For even Christ, our Passover, is sacrificed for us.
See that? Read that again, all of it. 7 and 8.
Purge out, therefore, the old leaven, that ye may be a new lump.
See, purge out this old wickedness. The leaven is what rises, makes the bread rise. So purge out all the wickedness that you have in you during this time, man, because Satan know he got a short time coming down much wrath, man. He said, purge out, therefore, the old leaven, the old wickedness, the iniquity, that you may be a new lump. You may be a new person. As you're unleavened, you're without the wickedness that you had before this time period comes. Read. For even.
For even Christ, our Passover, is sacrificed for us.
So even the Mashiach Yahushua, our Passover, the ultimate sacrifice for the sins of the 12 tribes of Israel, is sacrificed for us, the 12 tribes of Israel. Read.
Therefore, let us keep the feast, not with old leaven.
So he said, let us keep the feast, not with old leaven, not with the old wickedness or the things that we had in our mind before these feasts comes. The days come, you got to let it go. Or else you're going to be in sin. And there is a judgment for sin. The judgment of sin is death. Con? What's going to start happening, man? Or the Most High going to be wounding people more, man. Therefore, let us keep the feast, not with old leaven, not with the old wickedness, old things that we done before the feast. Read.
Therefore, let us keep the feast, not with old leaven, neither with the leaven of malice and wickedness.
Hear that? Neither with the leaven of malice, just angry without a true cause and wickedness, man. Read.
But with the unleavened bread of sincerity and truth.
Right. The unleavened bread of sincerity and truth, man. Sincerity. Be sincere about this, man. And the truth we know is the commandments of the Most High. Period. You know? That's why he said, read verse 4.
The book of First Corinthians, chapter 5, verse 4.
No, you need to read verse 1 down.
This is the book of First Corinthians, chapter 5, starting at verse 1. It is reported commonly that there is fornication among you.
Fornication among you, read.
And such fornication as is not so much as named among the Gentiles.
Say, hey, it's so bad, man, the fornication and wickedness that we doing against the Most High Power that it's not even named among the Gentiles. What is that?
That one should have his father's wife.
Wow, one should have his father's wife, man. That's cold-blooded. That's us. We boasted about this? Nah, man. Go ahead.
Right there.
And
Yeah,
ye,
man.
verse 2, and ye are puffed up.
Puffed up, what that mean? We dealing with what?
Pride.
Go ahead.
Ye are puffed up and have not rather mourned
Not rather mourn, man. Be sorrowful. Read.
that he have done this deed might be taken away from among you.
He said he'd have done this deed, sleeping with his father's wife, maybe taken him from away from us, man. Read.
For verily I say, Slakia, for I verily, as absent in body, but present in spirit, have judged already, as though I were present, concerning him that hath done this deed.
He said, hey, man, I'm not there, but I've done the judgment already, man. But this cat that did this deed, sleeping with his father's wife. Go ahead.
In the name
Mashiach Yahushua.
Ba'ashema Mashiach Yahushai.
When you
That's
in the name of the Lord and Savior.
Ba'ashema Mashiach Yahushai, when ye are gathered together in my spirit with the power of our Hamashiach Yahushai to deliver such one unto Satan.
Unto who?
Unto Satan.
So people are going to be delivered unto Satan for what?
For the destruction of the flesh.
For the destruction of the flesh, man. Lusting after their father's wife, man. Ugh. Man, I mean, what kind of... You ain't got no game. Ain't got no kind of... I mean, you just wicked to even think that we did this, but we did this right here in the scriptures, right? They doing it now. Read. Deliver such a one unto Satan, man, for the what?
For the destruction of the flesh.
For the destruction of the flesh. Go ahead.
That the spirit may be saved in the day of a Mashiach Yahushai.
You might be saved the day of a Mashiach Yahushai, man. Read.
Your glorying is not good.
To glorify yourself in this world, man, is not good, man. Read.
Know ye not that a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump?
He said, your glory is not good, man. He said, know ye not that you lifting up yourself, thinking you all that, and what? We understand it many times. What you lifting up yourself in pride, man.
Leaveneth the whole lump.
Leaveneth the whole lump, man. Mess your whole body up. And one bad apple spoils the what?
The entire tree.
The whole bunch, right?
The whole bunch.
The whole bunch of apples, man. So that's why we have to really look at this, because get 1 Peter 5:8. We can't be playing with this, man. This is serious where we at right now. This period of time.
First Peter 5:8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion walketh about, seeking whom he may devour.
See that? Our adversary, our enemy, man, the devil, is walking about, seeking who he may devour. He's trying to find out who he can devour. Which one is the weak one? That's what we're going to try and get. Are you going to allow him to penetrate into your spirit and not recognize it? That's why you got to know, man. That's why you got to rebuke the devil. What did he say? Read.
Whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world.
That's right, man. He's going about seeing who he may devour, man. We just got to be on point and dealing with him as Most High say, Hamashiach Shai dealt with him. What did he do to rebuke the devil?
The devil flee from.
He used the law.
He dealt with the law. He went to the law every single time, man. Let's go show that for everybody online, so you know. Especially those Christian sanity people that say that we ain't under the law, we ain't got to follow the law. Get Matthew the 4th chapter. Matthew the 4th chapter, start at verse 1.
This is the book of Matthew chapter 4, verse 1. Then was Yahushua led up of the spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil.
Tempted of who?
To be tempted of the devil.
Even the Mashiach Shai had to deal with the devil, y'all. So don't think anybody's exempt from him. Tempted of the devil, read. He fasted 40 days and 40 nights, read.
And then when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward and hungered.
He was hungry after you fasted 40 days and 40 nights. You know he was hungry, read.
And when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the Son of God, command that these stones be made bread.
So we're looking at what the Mashiach did to rebuke the devil. He said, rebuke the devil, he said what? Flee. Go ahead. And when the tempter, that's the devil, came to him, he said, if thou be the Son of the Most High, command that these stones be made bread. Go ahead.
But he answered and said, it is written.
It is written. Where's it written?
In
if
the
you
law.
Say it is written where? You know. You already know. You're going to already know the answers. You always, the reader always going to know the answers. God, he always going to know the answers. So it's just natural. It just happens every time. So where's it written?
Law.
Huh?
In the law.
In the law of the Most High. Because you say the law could be the law of Esau. It's the laws that the Most High gave us. Khan?
Khan.
Read verse 4 again.
But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone.
He said, man shall not live by bread alone, but
by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Most High.
So get Deuteronomy 8 and 3 to show you what he's going to say it is written. And how we rebuke the devil. People can't rebuke the devil if they ain't dealing with the what?
The law.
The law. Read that.
It's Deuteronomy 8 and 3. And he humbled thee, and suffered thee to hunger, and fed thee with manna, which thou knowest not, neither did thy fathers know, that he might make thee know that man doth not live by bread only, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Most High doth man live.
You see, so he used the law against Shaitan. Now, how you going to use the law against Shaitan, the devil, when you're not under the law? You didn't read this part. You don't even know to go here because of the fact of you say the law been done away with. Make that make sense. Go back to Matthew 4 and 5.
Matthew chapter 4 and verse 5. Then the devil taketh him up into the holy city and setteth him up on a pinnacle of the temple and said unto him, if thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down. For it is written, he shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest any time thou dash thy foot against a stone.
Right. So Shaitan can't go to the law. That's not the law where he's going to. He's going to Psalms 91, 11, and 12. That's where he's going to. And we can read that. Psalms 91, 11, and 12. There was the devil, he went to what King David said. Tempting her. He remember he the tempter. He trying to get him to defy gravity. Jump off the building and see it defy gravity. See if the Most High gonna do this. Read.
Psalms 91 and 11. For he shall give his angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone.
So what are we saying about the devil? What do we say about the devil?
He can't go to the law.
You gotta
Salakia.
I keep telling you, you know the answers. It's natural. When you read, it's just natural. Everybody that read know the answers. What is it?
He's trying to use the law to tempt Yahushua.
No. Don't say that.
What do you can't use the law against that? The devil can't use the Most High's laws to go and tempt him against the things that he has to do, or trying to like give him to kind of like tempt him or bribe him. Can't use the laws of the Most High to bribe him.
You can't, right? But what did he use? He's using the prophets.
Yeah,
he's using what the prophets say.
Well, yeah, he's using Psalms 31 and 12, like you said.
11 and 12, right? Yeah, he's going there.
That's what I'm saying. He's trying to use the law to tempt Yahushua.
That's not the law.
Well, he's using.
That's what was said in to King David saying that, you know what I mean, he's saying, he quoting from Psalms.
Well, he's using quotes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's quotes from Psalms, but not from the law.
Okay.
He can't use the law.
Okay.
You're going to see that. You can't use the law because Mashiach Shai going to use the law against him every time. There's something going to happen.
Okay.
That's why I'm here to show you that what works. Because you can't rebuke the devil if you ain't dealing with the law. We can rebuke him because we're dealing with the law. If you're really sincerely dealing with the Most High's rules and regulations, then you can rebuke him. But if not, then he gonna always come with some kind of scheme that's within these scriptures of the prophets, you know what I mean, to be able to come at you. That's what he did. That's what he used. He used against them.
That's a mighty point.
Yeah, so he was using,
you see?
He was using not the law, but he was using
David.
Use what King David said. You see what I'm saying? We could use what another prophet said. But he ain't going to Moses. He can't go. He can't go to the law. He can't go to what Moses was given to us.
He was using quotes, not the law.
Quotes, yeah.
Yeah, Consolakia.
Yeah.
This is like how when we deal with the Christian church and you know, and Esau and any type of anybody that comes against this truth, they number one thing is to run away from the law. The law is like holy water on them, man. You know what I'm saying? The law makes them scream and screech. You know, but they can use the scripture. They can see how sharp the devil was with the word of God.
Yep.
And he quoted, "It is written." He said, "It is written," right back at Yahushai, right? But he didn't go to the law. See, the law has a unique holiness,
right? And
it's the only thing. The elder is saying that this is the only thing that is able to rebuke the devil. Is the law of Moses, not of Moses, but the law given to Moses of the Most High.
Khan. You gotta see this every time. I mean, you're gonna see what the result is. Go back to Matthew 4. Read verse 6 again. So we know this is what he's dealing with. Read.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 4, verse 6. And said unto him, If thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down, for it is written, He shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest any time thou dash thy foot against the stone.
So we just read that in Psalms 91, 11, and 12. That's what he quoted from. But what did Mashiach Shai answer to him?
Yahushai answered unto him, It is written again.
It is written. Where is it written?
Thou shalt not tempt the Lord. You tempt Yahweh thy power.
See? He said, thou shalt not tempt Yahweh our power, right? So it's written. He said, where it's written? Deuteronomy 6 and 16 and Deuteronomy 10 and 20. No, that's just 6:16.
Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 16. Ye shall not tempt Yahweh your power as ye tempted him in Massa.
See?
Deuteronomy what?
Chapter 6, verse 16. So we seeing that during this war fight, man, that the Yahushua had with the devil never went into the law.
Nope.
And every time the Yahushua rebuked him, he used the law, man.
Yep.
And the devil, he went everywhere else but the law.
That's right.
And that's completely a cut, man, to the Christian church and they doctrine against the law, man. They teach their congregations. They stand up there and lead their congregations against the law passionately, man.
That's right.
And that's their whole mission. When every Sunday service, when they walk in there, man, is to convince them that the law of God has no more relevance. All right, in their salvation. And
so what they're gonna do with this? What we bringing out right here? They believe in their Jesus, right? But how they gonna actually combat this and knowing what he used against the devil? So how are people that go to church gonna really know how to rebuke the devil if they can't go where it is that he's going to rebuke him? You understand? This works. And before things, read on.
Salakias, back in Matthew chapter 4,
verse 7.
Verse 7, Yahushua said unto him, It is written again, Thou shalt not tempt Yahweh thy power. And again, the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain, and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world, and the glory of them. And said unto him, All these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me.
Hear that? So he showed him all the kingdoms of the world, including the kingdoms that we're in right now. He said, all this glory will I give thee if you bow down, fall down, and worship me. That's what he said. And people are filled with the devil. They're going to continue to do the things that he said he's going to give you if you do what? Bow down and worship him. That's why they, in this world, that's what they have done. They bow down and worship the devil. Well, you can't really, that's why I say it's going to be perilous time in this world because of what? Pride. Pride. You know what? Read.
Then Yahushai and then saith Yahushai unto him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship Yahweh thy power, and him only shalt thou serve.
See that? It is written, thou shalt worship the Most High, thy power, your power, Satan, your power, devil, and him only shalt thou serve. Who is he talking to? He's talking to the devil, talking to Satan. And he's telling him, it is written, thou shalt worship the Most High power, your power, devil, and him only shalt thou serve. Deuteronomy 6:13.
Then the devil leaveth him.
No, wait a minute. We gotta go to Deuteronomy 6:13.
Okay, Salakia. The book of Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 13, and it reads.
All right, come. Deuteronomy 6:13. Thou shalt fear the Most High thy power, and serve him, and shalt swear by his name.
That's it. Deuteronomy 10:20.
Deuteronomy 10:20.
This is what he quoted from.
Thou shalt fear the Most High thy power, him shalt thou serve, and to him shalt thou cleave, and swear by his name.
That's right, man. I'm telling them, man. Thou shalt work to the Most High your powers, devil, because he worked on the left-hand side of the Most High. We the ones that produced him. When we added the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. If we wouldn't have did that, then hey, we'd be all right. We live forever. We're made immortal. That's why this fight that we're going through right now is to be able to get back to where we were at. But he said our last estate gonna be better than the first estate. For immortality, to live forever and ever and ever, man. Why he said, hey, thou shalt work with no other power but him. Only shall thou serve the Most High Yahweh, man. That's what he said. Now, once he brought these 4 scriptures 3 times, however, three or 4 times that he dealt with the devil with the law of the Most High, then now you can read verse 11.
Cons. Then the devil leaveth him, and behold,
Matthew 4,
Matthew chapter 4, 11 and 11 now.
Now that he done went to the law every single time on the devil, then what the devil got to do?
The devil leaveth him.
Yep.
And behold, angels came and ministered unto him.
Angels came and ministered to Mashiach Yahushua. You see that? So that proves, man, that these Christian sanity people, man, is off and telling our people that they're not under the law. They're not under the rules and regulations of the Most High, the commandments of the Most High, man. That's wrong. They're not going to receive eternal life like that. Most High do the calling, so maybe he haven't called them. A lot of people coming out of there, though. Coming out of them religious, man, because you see, ain't no way, how they going to rebuke the devil? When you're going about sin, we can devour.
They spookism.
No, they rolling with them. You don't want to rebuke nobody that you rolling with. He going to always have you in what? Darkness, ignorance, not knowing. That's his job. Even the ones that's worshiping him, how you say they got the kingdoms? He told him all the kingdoms said all could be done to do what? Bow down and worship me. That's what they doing. Without a shadow of doubt. You know, Most High rules the kingdom of men to give it to who? The basis of men. And the basis of men is worshiping Satan, the devil. Yeah.
Salakia. So when they say we are not under the law, you know, they identifying with the devil because he couldn't go to that law. Mm-hmm. And that's what they saying. We are not under the law it's a wicked statement in itself. You know, it shows who they work for, you know.
That's right.
When they stand on that, I done had arguments with Christians, man, and that's they whole foundation is that we not under the law, you know. But they sound like the devil tempting Christ in that moment, yeah, because every time the law was brought out, You know, that's what made him weaker and weaker until he had to flee.
Revelation 14 to 12, Revelation 22, 14, 15.
So like what you say?
Revelation 14 to 12, Revelation 22, 14 to 15.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 14, verse 12. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God, of the Most High, and in the faith of Hamashiach Yahushua.
Here's the patience of the saints, man. Here are they that keep the commandments of the Most High and the faith of Hamashiach Yahushua. Revelation 22 and 14. We only have about 7 more verses to go before the end of the Bible. And I don't understand how they could be reading the New Testament and don't see this. What did it say? Revelation 22, 14.
Salakia, Revelation chapter 22 and verse 14, and it reads, Salakia, chapter 22 and verse 14, and behold, Salakia, verse 14, blessed are they that do his commandments.
What did it say?
Blessed are they that do his commandments.
No, blessed are they that don't do his commandments.
Blessed are they that do his commandments.
But we're not under the law. We're not under the commandments. It say what?
Blessed are they that do his commandments.
Blessed are they that do his commandments. Read.
That they may have right to the tree of life.
That they may have right to the tree of life. Go ahead.
And may enter in through the gates into the city.
See that? We want to enter through them gates into the city, man. Where the gates at? Revelation 21 and 12.
Revelation chapter 21, verse 12. And had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
What?
Of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
But I thought the 12 tribes of Israel were done away with. How are we in Revelation reading about the 12 tribes of Israel? What's on the gates?
The 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
The 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
On the east 3 gates, and on the north 3 gates, and on the south 3 gates, and on the west 3 gates.
That's right, man. There it is. 3 tribes on the north, 3 tribes on the south, 3 tribes on the west, 3 tribes on the east, which make up the 12 tribes of Israel. That's who's going to the kingdom. Now I'll go back to Revelation 22 and 15. We're going to be able to enter into these gates. The children of Israel going into those gates. They didn't say no one else. They got an angel on over every gate to make sure nobody going through there but Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, and Issachar. Point blank, man. Yeah, that's us, man. Go ahead.
Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter through the gates into the city. Verse 15.
That's right. We just read about who's going to the city. The gates, right? Go ahead.
For without are dogs, and sorcerers, and whoremongers, and murderers, and idolaters, and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie.
It's real, man. Without the kingdom, gonna be dogs. And I looked up dogs in the New English Bible Dictionary. It says dog was a word that was used by the Israelites pertaining to the Gentiles because of their profaneness, which means unholiness, probably a reference to homosexuality. That was the so-called white man put in the New English Bible Dictionary. Dogs, man. That's what it said. And much of side, what King David said, what? In Psalm 22 and 16, for dogs have compassed me. The assembly of the wicked have enclosed me. They pierced my hands and my feet. So we call them dogs too. Not only the enemy, we call them violent, the enemy, the wicked, the devil, and dogs. How about that? I mean, they're not talking about that. Who's talking about that? That's what's written. And those that love to make a lie, man. Murderers. You know you're a murderer if you don't love your brother. You know that, right? Y'all know that? He already told you don't come praying to him, and you got problems with your. You can't pray to him. You got problems with your brothers. You gotta let all that stuff go, man. Look at 1 John 3 and 15.
This is the book of John, chapter 3, and verse 15. That whosoever believeth in him
1 John 3.
Oh, Salakia.
15.
Okay.
You got it?
1 John 3:15. Whosoever hateth his brother is a murderer.
Now, he just said no murderer going to the kingdom. So you hate your brother, you're a murderer. Right?
And ye know that no murderer hath eternal life abiding in him.
Yeah, but we just read that in Revelation 22:15. There's one of them that's not going in there. Read verse 10.
1 John 3:10. In this the children of the Most High are manifest, and the children of the devil. Whosoever doeth not righteousness is not of the Most High.
So if you don't do righteousness, you're not of the Most High. We know righteousness is what? Keeping of the commandments of the Most High. You know what scripture proves that? Deuteronomy 6:25. I should know this because it's very important that when you see in the New Testament, you see these words, you know that it's only the Old Testament or the law and the prophets, so you can be able to define these words by what it's saying, by the definition that's given in the Old Testament or the New Testament. Because sin is not defined in the Old Testament like it is in the New Testament, like 1 John 3 and 4, you know? Read that.
Con, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6, verse 25. And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before Yahweh our power, as he hath commanded us.
Right, man. That's righteousness. Psalms 119, 172 defines righteousness.
It's like you said, Psalms
119, you got it? Psalms 119, 172.
Psalms 119, 172. My tongue shall speak of thy word, for all thy commandments are righteousness.
See, all the Most High's commandments are righteousness. Now, 1 John 3 and 11.
1 John 3 and 11. Want to read 10 again?
Mm-hmm.
Finish off 10.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, read
1 John 3 and 10. In this the children of the Most High are manifest, and the children of the devil.
Even the children of the devil. Children of the Most High and the children of the devil. Right?
Whosoever doeth not righteousness is not of the Most High.
So if you don't follow the commandments and the laws of the Most High, like we were saying, they're not in the church. They're teaching you're not under the laws of the Most High. You don't have to keep the commandments of the Most High.
They can't stand to hear the law.
Yeah. Whoso doeth not righteousness, which is keeping of the commandments of the Most High, is not of the Most High. So who they are?
The devil.
The devil. Come. Read.
Neither he that loveth not his brother.
Neither you that don't love your brother, man. Read.
For this is the message that ye heard from the beginning, that we should love one another.
It's a message from the beginning that we should love one another. It's always, every time you look around, man, I looked in the scriptures, man, he telling us we care about each other, love each other, love you. Why you got to keep telling us to love each other? Because we don't love each other. We don't love each other enough, man. We don't care about each other enough, you know? And that's what this is all about, man. Coming back to the love of the Most High and to love our brothers and sisters as ourselves, man. Love our neighbors ourselves, man. We got to care about each other, man. And that's not only us that are here that's dealing in the truth, but those that don't know too. You gotta have a love, and they gotta feel that you really care about them. Why they should come around us and they feel like we don't give a dang about them. We like Job. Since we know the commandments, follow the commandments, we better than everybody. That ain't righteous with the Most High. That ain't marvelous in the eyes of the Most High. You gotta humble yourself, you know, and not declare yourself as one of the righteous. So therefore, what did he say? Yeah, Matthew 11 and 19. Shoot. He hanging out around with the righteous, man. Look how Peter was all buck wild, man, out of it. He the head apostle. What is right? I mean, come on, man. Read that.
Matthew chapter 11. Salaki, what verse you say?
19.
Verse 19. And it reads, the Son of Man came eating and drinking. And they say, behold, a man gluttonous and a wine bibbler.
Yeah, he said, hey, he like to eat a lot. And a wine bibber sipped on some little wine in moderation. Go ahead.
A friend of publicans.
A who?
A friend of
A
publicans.
friend of who?
A friend of
A
publicans.
friend of publicans, read.
And sinners.
And the sinners, man. Read.
But wisdom is justified of her children.
Yo, man. He was cool with everybody, man. He didn't stand out like he was all that, man. Uplifting himself, man. That's why Philippians 2:8. He didn't uplift himself, man. No, read let's start at 5. Philippians 2:5. And we're gonna get out of here.
Huh.
I can get it. Philippians 2:5. Let this mind be in you, which was also in Hamashiach Yahushai.
Right. Let this mind be in you, which is also in the Mashiach Yahushua we've been talking about all night. What does it say?
Who, being in the form of the Most High, thought it not robbery to be equal with the Most High.
Meaning he was the son of the Most High. That's what let's talk about. Read.
But made himself of no reputation.
So he wasn't trying to be somebody in the Roman Empire. Like we still in the Roman Empire, the latter end of the Greco-Roman Empire. He made himself a what?
Of no reputation.
Of no reputation, man. Read.
And took upon him the form of a servant.
He took upon him the form of a servant, man. He was serving the brothers. Go ahead.
And was made in the likeness of men.
How could he be made in the likeness of men if he came through Immaculate Conception? He was made in the likeness of men, like all the rest of us. Men are made. Con? What it's saying? Go ahead.
And being found in fashion as a man, he humbled himself.
Even he humbled himself. Did he have to? No. But he humbled himself, read.
And became obedient unto death.
Obedient to who? Obedient to the Most High, unto death, man. Serving the sentence that the Most High gave him. Read.
Even the death of the cross.
Even the death of the affliction that he had to go through for us, man. The Israelites. Now, Ecclesiastes 12 and 13.
Ecclesiastes 12:13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments.
What did it say?
Fear the Most High and keep his commandments.
This is a conclusion of the whole matter. It say, fear the Most High. A lot of people stop there and just read on and keep the commandments, but you got to be afraid. You got to be scared of the Most High, like it was when he said, hey, I'm going to come down on Mount Sinai and have Israel put that boundary around us. We couldn't pass that boundary. If we pass that boundary on Mount Sinai, say, you're going to kill us. And he had lightning. It was lightning and thundering, and the fire was going up from the mountain like a volcano. Yeah, you can think of lava going straight up in the air, miles, man. We scared to death. You know, trumpet blowing, loud. It's lightning, it's thundering. You got this fire going up there. We're scared. We say, we're gonna talk to you, Moses. We talk to the Most High. We gonna what? We gonna die. Yeah. We're afraid, man. So he gonna visit. He gonna make sure everybody contend with him or be with him. So that's why he said, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. What he say? Fear the Most High, read.
And keep his commandments.
And keep his commandments. What is this?
For this is the whole duty of man.
The whole duty of man. Read.
For the Most High shall bring every work into judgment.
Every work that we do, man, that work is the laws and the commandments. Get Exodus 18 and 20. That's the commandments, man, the laws. That's the work. He gonna bring every work, because the Christian Saturday people say it ain't about your works. It's about your faith. Just you believe in something. No, and they don't believe in the Mashiach Yahushua. They don't believe in the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He's saying he's the only power of Israel, the Israelites, the Most High power of Israel. They don't believe in him. They done made up their own power. You know what I mean? It ain't him. It's not him. I've been asking people, do you know the Most High? No. What about you? You know the Most High? No. What about you? You know the Most High? No. Over and over again for 3 months. I'll show you the Bible. Okay, here, show me the Most High. They don't know. Read that, huh?
The book of Exodus, chapter 18 and verse 20. And thou shalt teach them ordinances and laws and shall show them the way wherein they must walk, and the work that they must do.
There it is, man. That work is the laws, man. Just commandments that we must do. That's why I say it's gonna be a day, man. Get Daniel 7:18. Gonna be a day, man, that judgment is gonna come on this earth.
Huh.
And we gotta be ready, man, so that we're not caught up in the destruction that he's gonna bring on this earth when he start melting people. Read this.
Daniel 7:18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever.
How long?
Forever.
How long?
Forever.
Forever, man. Read.
Even forever and ever.
That's right, even forever and ever.
Huh.
Verse 27.
Verse 27. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him.
That's what we got next, man. All dominions, all people gonna serve and obey him. Read.
Hitherto is the end of the matter.
That's the end of the matter, y'all. That's all we gotta say. We say, Kwam Abanawa Yahweh.
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 Kwam Mashiach Yahushai.
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 Kwam Yasharala.
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 Yeah, we out, y'all. Shalom.
Huh.
Water, yeah. That's right. Kind. Water, everybody, for joining us. We'll see you again soon. All praise to the Most High.